As we rocket into the modern age, the consequences of our misuse of technology will often come back to bite us. In many cases, this is already happening, for example with climate change and antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance is pretty scary because we've never lived in a world without effective drugs for bacterial infections. I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about everyone alive today. The human species obviously lived in an era without effective drugs, but at some point in recent history, we developed them. Except lately, because of the rise of antibiotic resistance, things might change. Everyone that's alive today enjoys a world that is less threatened by bacterial pathogens than at any time preceding us. However, this is not going to last forever. With our overprescription of antibiotics, our misuse of antibiotics, and our industrial-scale slaughterhouses full of animals pumped up to their eyeballs in antibiotics, we are creating the conditions where any given strain of, a bacterial pathogen can undergo a few mutations and rapidly develop resistance to all of our drugs. At that point, the antibiotics are useless. They're actually less than useless, as continued application will only make the resistance stronger, and using other drugs runs the risk of helping the pathogen develop resistance to those drugs too. Because of the incredibly serious nature of this problem, scientists are searching for new ways to fight bacteria, to develop new medicines that the bacteria either don't have a resistance to, or that they can't develop a resistance to. There's been a lot of interest in phage therapy, where bacteriophages are used to kill bacteria, instead of using antibiotics. This bacteriophage research is really big in Russia and in former Soviet states. They pioneered the medical use of bacteriophages in the 20th century, largely due to a lot of political interference that prevented them from getting modern antibiotics. They had to pioneer their own medicines. The news that I want to tell you about today involves a new type of antibacterial chemical that can help protect us against even some of the worst bacterial pathogens. According to researchers from the Institute for Molecular Bioscience, the University of Queensland Centre for Superbug Solutions, and all of their international collaborators, there are 23 metal-containing compounds that should be examined for their medical potential. These compounds contain metals like zinc, ruthenium, iridium, and silver. These metals all have inherent antibacterial and antifungal qualities. They can selectively kill bacterial cells, like the potentially deadly methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, also known as MRSA. But these metal-containing compounds are more or less harmless to human cells. Dr. Angelo Frey was a lead author of the study. He noted that almost 75% of antimicrobial medicines currently under development are derivatives of known and used antibiotics, which is a problem, as derivative chemicals are similar enough to the original such that any bacteria with resistance to the original might quickly be able to develop resistance to the derivative. Dr. Frey said, quote, "Finding completely new types of antibiotics in these metal-containing compounds offers promise to outwit bacterial resistance, because they likely use different mechanisms which the bacteria have not encountered previously." In addition to activity against MRSA, some compounds were active against dangerous gram-negative pathogens such as Escherichia coli and Acinetobacter baumannii, which have even fewer novel antibiotic treatments. Unquote. Dr. Mark Blaskovich was also a lead author of the study. He described their research efforts, saying, quote, "We embarked on a quest to tap into the millions of compounds sitting unused on laboratory shelves, discarded because they don't fit the mold for common drug design. We tested these compounds to see if they have an effect on bacterial and fungal pathogens. So far, we've received and screened 300,000 compounds, including nearly 1,000 metal-containing compounds from over 300 academic groups across 47 countries." Unquote. Now, Dr. Frey also commented about the financial aspect of antibiotic research, saying, quote, "Many pharmaceutical companies are bowing out of antibiotic research as there is little return on investment. So it is vital to raise awareness that metal complexes are a prospective source of truly novel antibiotics with potential for combating antimicrobial resistance." Unquote. A lot of these metal compounds that these researchers have just uncovered or that they're starting to look at and test more, they hold a lot of promise as new antibiotic agents. And it's not even like they're brand new. We've been using metal compounds for a long time, like platinum to treat cancer. Arsenic was once used to treat syphilis, and gold has been used to treat arthritis, and so on. So ultimately, this is good news. We're looking closer at an exciting group of metal-containing compounds, and the potential to find new medicines and new antibiotics is quite high. I'm really excited to see the fruit that this research will yield over the next 5 to 10 to 20 years.